Ever, and welcome back to my kitchen. Today, we're diving into a classic Southern dessert that's creamy, tangy, and oh so delicious. Buttermilk pie. If you've never had it, you are in for an absolute treat. It's one of those simple, old-fashioned recipes that just warms your soul. And the best part? It's surprisingly easy to make. So, grab your apron and let's get baking. First things first, let's talk about our ingredients. The star of the show is, of course, buttermilk. You'll need 1½ cups. This is what gives the pie its signature tangy flavor. We'll also need 1½ cups of granulated sugar, a ½ cup of melted unsalted butter, 3 large eggs, 3 tablespoons of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, a 1/4 teaspoon of ground nutmeg, and a little pinch of salt. And for the crust, you can use a store-bought 9-inch deep dish pie crust to make things super easy. Or feel free to use your favorite homemade recipe. Before it's starting, pre 100 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about 200 degrees Celsius. Place your pie crust on a baking sheet. This little trick makes it easier to transfer the pie in and out of the oven and can help catch any potential spills. Now, for the filling, it couldn't be simpler. In a large bowl, we're going to combine our sugar and flour. Just give them a quick whisk to break up any lumps. This helps ensure our filling is perfectly smooth later on. Next, add in your melted butter. Make sure it's cooled down a bit so it doesn't scramble our eggs. Whisk it into the sugar and flour mixture until it's well combined. It might look a little grainy at this point, but don't worry, that's completely normal. Next up, the eggs. We're going to lightly beat our 3 eggs in a separate small bowl and then pour them into the main mixture. Whisk everything together until it's smooth and creamy. Now it's time for our star ingredient, the buttermilk. Slowly pour in the buttermilk while you continue to whisk. Keep going until everything is beautifully blended. Finally, we'll add our flavor enhancers, the vanilla extract, the ground nutmeg, and that tiny pinch of salt. The nutmeg adds a wonderful warmth that complements the tangy buttermilk perfectly. Give it one last good whisk until the filling is uniform and smooth. See how easy that was? Our filling is now ready. Carefully pour the liquid filling into your prepared pie crust. It's going to be a very liquidy filling, but trust the process. The magic happens in the oven. The filling will set up into a beautiful, silky custard. Now, we're ready to bake. Place the pie on the baking sheet into your preheated 400-degree oven. We'll bake it at this high temperature for the first 15 minutes. This initial blast of heat helps to set the crust and the edges of the filling. After 15 minutes, reduce the oven temperature down to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, or about 105 Celsius. Continue to bake for another 40 to 50 minutes. You'll know the pie is done when the center is almost set, but still has a slight jiggle to it, kind of like gelatin. The top should be a gorgeous golden brown, maybe with a few darker spots, which is totally characteristic of a classic buttermilk pie. If you find the top or the edges of your crust are browning too quickly, you can loosely cover it with a piece of aluminum foil for the last 15 to 20 minutes of baking. Once your pie is baked to perfection, carefully remove it from the oven and place it on a wire rack to cool completely. This is a very important step. The pie needs to cool for at least 2 to 3 hours to fully set up. If you try to slice into it while it's still warm, you'll have a soupy mess. Patience is key here. I promise it's worth the wait. Once the pie has cooled to room temperature, you can serve it as is, or you can chill it in the refrigerator for a few hours. I personally love it chilled, especially on a warm day. The texture becomes even more firm and custardy. You can serve a slice plain, which is absolutely delicious, or top it with a dollop of whipped cream or some fresh berries for a little extra flair. The simple, tangy sweetness of the pie is really the star, and there you have it. A perfect, classic buttermilk pie. It's such a comforting and satisfying dessert. And it's a wonderful recipe to have in your collection for potlucks, holidays, or just a simple weeknight treat. The contrast between the flaky crust and the smooth, sweet and tangy custard filling is just divine. I really hope you give this recipe a try. It's a true taste of Southern hospitality. If you do make it, let me know how it turned out in the comments below. I love hearing from you all and seeing your beautiful creations. Thanks so much for hanging out with me and baking today. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more easy and delicious recipes. We'll see you in the next video. Happy baking!